Hello, hello everyone. I am Dr. Neeta Ratti, cosmetic gynecologist from Vital Clinic. Now, I have been practicing cosmetic gynae since 1997, and in this long journey, I have seen what is the requirement of women and what they want about themselves. There are some women who are working outdoors, office, or maybe in the technical field, or maybe they are teaching, or maybe they are outfield like certain coaches. I have come across certain coaches of different games, badminton coach, tennis coach, and then there are women who are into archery or maybe modeling or even acting. So women of different walks of life, the requirement of every women, the female, has to look attractive. There is no way out. And with what we see is when we are young, our natural skin is so good, no matter what we do on the skin, it is looking good. And around the age of 25, I think, or 30, you have the best skin which is possible. But later, what happens? The skin starts losing its youthfulness. Now, youthfulness is judged by the volume of cheek, the bulge of cheek. So, with aging, what happens? You see, the skin, as we all know, is three layers. One is the basal layer, which is the only growing layer. Then there is the epidermis. Every day, a new layer is formed, the old one is pushed out. So, and in that bargain, the top layer, which is the most dead layer, is automatically shed off. Every day that process is going on. In one day, a normal human body, skin, which is the largest organ of the body, sheds around 4 lakh skin cells, right? So this makes the scrubbing of skin quite a useless procedure, because a process which is already going on, why we have to sort of increase it or enhance it, right? So now what happens with aging is, then the second layer, the basal layer I have told, epidermis I have told, which has about 25 to 30 layers. Every day one top layer, 1 or 2 layers are shed off. New ones have grown from the basal layer and moving to the top. Now there is a third layer, which is the most important layer, which gives structure to the skin. Now that layer is the dermis, or the deep layer of skin. Now dermis is basically a protein based layer, okay? It has 3 types of fibers. One are the long fibers called the collagen. Then there are the short crisscross fibers, which is the elastin. And then all is filled with protein matrix. So this all layers are protein based layers. So what happens is, the collagen somehow does not form on its own, right? But what happens with increasing age, day to day, it is worn off. So it gets thinner and thinner and thinner. So when it gets thinner and thinner, so our skin is now lacking the strength to support it anti-gravity. So the gravity takes its toll, and so it starts sagging towards the jawline. So then we start seeing our laughter lines, which are from this place to this place, becoming more prominent. We see this cheek fullness finishing, skin gets sagging, the jawline is disturbed, right? We find heaviness here, neck starts sagging. So all these things, they happen on a very gradual time. And that is the time when women are busy bringing up their children, exams, 12th, then competitions, then getting into colleges, and they are so busy they hardly look at themselves. Once the child has gone away, now when you start looking at yourself with that eye or that mindset, you find, oh my God, what's happened? I mean, I've lost so much. So now, nothing to worry. Because we have this procedure called as ReformCRF. Now ReformCRF, what it does is, it first of all tightens the collagen. That means tightens the collagen, and this collagen which has tightened today gets reformed in due course of time, say about 6 weeks to 1.5 months to 3 months. It reforms into new collagen and you start seeing the firmness. You start seeing the result right from day one you do the procedure here. Okay. Now there are, you see, it all depends like how much damage is there, how much sagging is there, how much pigmentation is there, so how much open pores are there. All these things are corrected simultaneously. So if the problem is not too much, right? So then one can have like maybe like 1.5 hour session, 1 hour for the face, half an hour for the neck, once a month, 3 times, or one can have 1 hour session of the face, 1 hour for the neck, once a month, 3 times, 4 times, or 2 times, depending on what is required for every person. Or if the person doesn't have too much of time, they can take like half an hour session for the face, half an hour for the neck. Excuse me, for say once a month and 6 to 7 times. Like ultimately there is a certain amount of time required for the full correction of the damaged tissue. So no problem, it's no problem. Look at your time, how much time you have. According to that we can plan your reform process. At the same time, what we see is the damage is not only in the form of sagging. There are fine lines and wrinkles coming up. The pores start opening. Why? Because when the collagen gets thinned out, the skin is not able to support. So every pore, the skin around the pore is popping up. So the pore starts looking, and once the person who is scrubbing the skin is already damaging the pores. So by scrubbing, you are damaging the pores, and so they move in all the directions, and then they start showing more prominently, which we don't want. Initially, it appears like skin is getting better and better, but no, it doesn't. So now what happens is, so these are the procedures. Now, if this procedure of ReformCRF is combined with Melblock Home Kit Advance or Melblock Day, you will find the results are so good that the skin becomes so bright, shining. In the very first month, you see a 30 to 50% response. And this clear, bright, shining, smooth skin, you have it, you love it, and you want it to remain like that always, right? So no problem. Yeah, it's not late. Any time is not late. Better start the program and you will see the results from the very first day onwards. Because when we do half the procedure of ReformCRF, for the correction of the contours of face, the neck, in the mid of the procedure, you will see the difference. You will see what sort of reform are we looking at, because you will see the results from the very day one. Okay, so that's it, and then maybe we will talk about it in our next video. Till then, bye bye, and wish you all a very good day. Enjoy your life. Thanks.